Welcome to the episode of Soccer Podcast for us, by us, talking about intersection of Black culture and soccer. Got your boy here, Grego here. I have moved around my headquarters over here. You can now see part of my lovely jersey collection back here, and you can actually hear it clearly now. Because the last couple of weeks have been sounding mad janky, but we are back. We're back better than ever, and I have not come alone. Back from the far oceans and the far deserts and far territories, we have brought back our uncle, Traveler Tony. Coach Tony, what's going on with you, man?
Hey, it's good to be back. Although I kind of wish I was still over there. Not gonna lie,
it was snowing out there. I saw those pictures, like dog.
Yeah. Well, of course, it warmed up as soon as I left.
right. And then you come back and we got nothing but rain out here, and it was a monsoon on Monday. Like, bruh, actually no, Tuesday, yeah. Like, just rain nonstop.
I'll tell you the thing I didn't miss was when I got back and got out of the airport and I saw all the damn pollen all over the place. I was like, oh Lord.
You know what? The crazy thing about that is that my allergies are notorious, but down here in Georgia, like, I don't know if it's just the blend down here. It doesn't fuck with me the same way that it does when I'm back home in North Carolina and Virginia. But like, I've only taken my allergy medicine like one time, like so far, like the past couple weeks. So like, I'm hanging in there. I'm doing all right. I'm staying strong. But yeah, glad to have you back. And then of course, right over here to my right is TK. What's going on with you, man?
Nothing much, man. Happy to hear.
Yeah, man. Glad to have you on, because them Blues taking it right up there for the past couple days.
Just shoving in the pool right now. Yeah.
I
didn't talk about my trip far west and to the sands and to the cacti. None of that. I get it.
Because I'm highly jealous of the In-N-Out. I'm highly jealous that you got to hang around all the WrestleMania people out in Dallas. And, like, it sounded like it was a great time out there. Like, oh no, we get there. Trust me, we're definitely getting to that.
Okay.
But yeah, man, it's like I said, it's been a few weeks since we had a full-fledged episode. Because we've been going through it, y'all. Like, the audio, like, see. TK camera just went out, like like that's the kind of stuff we are struggling with right now.
No, it was actually on accident, but I'll do it on purpose.
That's hilarious.
That's all I did.
But yeah, we are back. Like I said, thank you to the 5 people who tuned into our live last week. During the shout out to you,
bro. We appreciate it.
Yeah. 5 seems to be a very common number these days. 5 fingers set to the face, five fingers that watch live, like all that stuff lately. But yeah, we definitely do appreciate it. Like, we recorded during the Costa Rica USA game, which unfortunately lost. But hey, we are still in the World Cup. We have made it. We are back in the scene with the gangster lean, and yeah, we definitely go into the draw that took place this past Friday, where the USA landed, where Mexico landed, where Canada landed. And I said, what we got to look forward to in November. But yes, thank you guys for checking us out on your favorite podcast apps: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Audio Boom, Anchor, Stitcher, all of them. And of course, on the FTC UTD YouTube channel and at 2centsfc.com. Guys, man. Again, like, it's just so good to just have you guys back, and then we're actually sounding good. Like, I actually for those of y'all who didn't catch the YouTube, I gotta show y'all like this collection back here, because like the brother's been shopping lately, and I haven't even gotten to what Tony got back from Turkey, and then your good buddy TK Anu, he's out in London right now. It's his fault that y'all lose. It's his fault.
That's probably right, but Anu is actually he's doing the goodly work and he's bringing back the merch.
Yeah. We got some things coming back that like I said, this collection will be growing back behind me. So stay tuned on that. But yeah, what are you doing with your mic? You were having a hard time over there.
Nah, I just I got some cables. My bad though. I unmuted
I said,
myself.
and then
My
the
apologies.
cat like over here like just like you you ain't touched her all day where is the love? Where is the love?
Dude, that's how it is, man. Boy cats are way more affectionate than girls. Actually, I wish I had girl cats. I used to have one, but it's at my parents' house now. It's a good relationship. It's like symbiotic, but like we don't hang out. That's how female
Tony
cats
is
treat
judging
you.
out here. Tony is judging. I can just see the look on his.
I'm just listening to the conversation. That's all, man. I'm just an innocent bystander. That's all.
Tony has other feelings. He tries to be sly with it. I don't know if we'll pull the inside of the chat content out into the world, but I might just throw that back in.
Don't you do that, Ricky Bobby?
Exactly.
I'm just sitting here watching the show. That's all.
Oh man,
happy to be here. Yep,
but yeah,
happy to be
did either one of y'all catch the draw on Friday? It was live in Qatar at Idris Elba hosting.
Yo, did you see that suit he was wearing?
No, so I listened on the radio on Sirius. So like because I was actually picking up some prints when the show was on. So like I missed all that. Like, I actually was trying to look online because I was going to see like what the pictures that I did see. I didn't see my man on there. But yeah, man.
So it was a good look, man. It was a good look. I saw it, Tony. It was a good look.
That's what I was about to say. Like, yo, that suit he was wearing. I was like, of course, Idris can pull it off. But then I was like, damn, I want one of those, but it ain't gonna look like it ain't gonna let it.
The black. Okay,
like, yeah,
I see it.
Hey man, I want to know the designer. That's the shout out that needs to go to. I mean, my man did wear it properly, but
and then the co-host like Tony was telling me off before we started recording, like that Arab Middle Eastern beauty, like it's another level out there. It's a whole other level out there. I'm like, man. But yeah, man.
A lot of people gonna get in trouble.
They can't drink out there, so I don't know how
that ain't gonna stop the trouble. Yeah, it only takes.
Well, it depends on where
we're gonna stop it right there. We're gonna stop.
Well, in Qatar, they said they're not selling nothing. So like, if you're English, you might be shut of luck.
Yeah, we'll see. You know how them people. We might need to next.
But yeah, so the U.S. men's national team, they drew Group B to catch up on who is also in Group B. We got Iran, a notable friend of ours.
Sound like you speak another language, man.
Iran. Iran. Number one. I'm trying to be phonetically accurate, but
hey man, yeah, you got to throw the enunciation around,
right.
Like you watch Argo one time, and then now you know everything.
Oh shit, Argo.
Like I caught you.
But also in the group we got the winner, the upcoming winner of the European playoffs between Ukraine, Scotland, and Wales. And last but not least, we are once again joined by England. And the interesting thing there is that so with the schedule this year for the World Cup is a little different from past years, where like you actually have two groups playing each day, and so like we actually will be playing on the first day of the World Cup, and we play the European playoff winner that day. But on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, we got England. We got England at 2 p.m. Eastern. So those of y'all with that extended Thanksgiving weekend holiday, y'all get to be at home chilling, or you get to go out with your what's your preferred group, whether it was AO or not. Hopefully, you heard our commentary on that a couple weeks ago. If
Hey,
the
I
audio ever if the audio ever made it, um, but yeah, but yeah, we got
It's quite poetic that it will happen on Thanksgiving.
right,
Uh,
right, right.
as far as the whole separatist movement and everything like that.
hmm Yeah,
So,
it's like someone
We
planned it
landing on
almost.
Plymouth Rock landing on us.
have y'all seen Plymouth Rock? I went to it. It's like this
No.
big, dude. It's like this big. They have a big cage around it.
Oh wow.
Obviously to protect it because
It's just an actual rock. Like, oh, this is the rock.
no, I mean, it used to be bigger a little bit, but because of erosion and everything, some
Hmm.
odd way. But also, they had to put a cage around it because a lot of people used to
Try to
try
knock
to
it
mess
off.
with it. Well, also a lot of Native Americans also try to, mess with it as well too. So that was the other thing. They were
Mhm.
like, "Man, we don't care about this rock. Get this shit out of our way."
It's just a rock. It's just a
I
rock.
wonder how many people like actually spit on that thing.
yeah,
Seriously, just like
yeah. Yeah, I mean,
it's
they used to deface it and everything, so that's why they got a big cage around it now.
right,
Oh
right. It's like
wow.
the people who go to concerts to boo.
You are.
Like you paid to get in.
The
Boo
people
this man.
you literally paid for a ticket and you're
Like, I
booing.
don't understand.
Like make that make sense. I mean, goodness.
Somebody.
But yeah, like so what are y'all thoughts on the group? Y'all think this is gonna be a relatively smooth journey or we might have some smoke
Not for the US, never. The World Cup won't be smooth
until we get a
until
striker.
the entire roster is playing in Europe. Like or until at
I
least the
mean,
spine of the team. Well,
it,
I guess almost of it. We need the
Oh, listen,
goalkeeper but in Europe. We need the goalkeeper in Europe. And it ain't Steph.
we need a goalkeeper playing because yeah,
It ain't
right
Steph.
now right, it's not quite happening. But yeah, like I would, of course, the winner of the playoffs would definitely kind of help shape what how tough this can be. Cause I do think that we're actually the youngest team going into the World Cup. We're like our average age is like 24, so I think that that's something that can work to our advantage. But at the same time, that inexperience is gonna come big. So I think that just in how we prep going into November is going to come a long way because we got Nations League for some reason in June, which like they really said let's still play Nations League and then put us in a draw with El Salvador and Grenada. Like I would love to go to Grenada, but I'm not going there for soccer. Like made that make sense?
all right. So back to your question.
Oh, just okay.
You
What's up?
asked how our hopes are with Group B,
Hmm.
and I mean, obviously, you got the play in of Ukraine, Scotland, Wales. I think what's funny is like if you look at all the connectivity through these countries and their history and all the chaos and wars
The
and
geopolitics
hostages.
is all
I
in the air.
it's there's so many storylines just off of the political stuff with all these countries involved. But with that being said, the question is obviously England's the favorite, but the question always with England is,
When they
you
gonna
know,
choke? When they gonna
right.
choke?
Are they going to choke? So if there's a situation like if Wales wins and gets in or something like that, or Scotland, Scotland and Wales are always known to mess up people's plans. Um, and then Ukraine, obviously, if Ukraine gets in, what better story would you see than the Ukrainian team, mess up somebody's hopes and dreams? So they got obviously they got God on their side right now. You know what I'm saying? God is undefeated. So it'll be interesting how that plays out. But as far as like U.S. England, that's obviously going to be the highlight match that everybody's going to look at and everything. And um, I still think that I think it's going to be a U.S. and England getting out of that group. The one thing I wonder about is with Iran is is who they're going to play spoiler to.
Yeah,
Um,
because remember, like the last time we played Iran was like in '98,
yeah,
and they smoked us. And
yeah,
so we finished dead last that year. So hopefully we're obviously we're not trying to repeat that performance. And but yeah, like like the geopolitics that are played, Ukraine, obviously they're at war right now. Scotland, of course, they got their thing with England. Wales, they got their thing with
exactly.
England. We got our thing with Iran. England has their thing with Iran. Like there's just so much going on. I feel like you know this is one of those groups where it's like, yeah, you might want to just keep the fans just as far away as you can. Just make sure that the alcohol is definitely off limits, like none whatsoever. But but yeah, I think there's so many questions with the U.S., especially as they wrapped up uh the qualification campaign last week with a 2-0 loss to Costa Rica. I mean, we went over a little bit last week as we were watching the game because we've never won in Costa Rica, so it's it's hard to appropriately gauge that performance given that we've never won down there. It's just we could line up whoever. It's like, yeah, we're still getting smoked. So um like of course you were watching the game with me, TK. Like, were you able to watch it, Tony?
No, I wasn't because at that time I think it was that night I was in Frankfurt Airport, I want to say, or
Oh,
that morning for me.
excuse me.
Um, so I wasn't able to catch it, but I was definitely getting alerts, via
Mhm.
and the Wi-Fi situation was tricky at the airport too there, but
At the airport?
yeah. Well,
E-
Frank, Frank,
Even in Frankfurt?
it is,
In
but
Frankfurt? Frankfurt?
it was. I was trying to use my VPN thing as well too, and all that. It was weird.
Man, we got the hookup. We got the hookup. It's built in now. You just got to get on the new iOS. It's built in.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, no, I didn't get to catch it, but my hopes going into the cup is that
Because you're
uh,
always a skeptical one amongst us when it comes
I am,
to the national team. Like,
I am.
has this campaign said like, okay, we might be okay this year, or we just like, hey, let's just get to 2026.
I feel better what I've seen in the last 6 to 8 months or whatever.
Hmm.
I feel that this core group. Obviously, there's so much potential with this crew. Um, what your favorite guy? Not Captain America, but Special Agent,
Oh, U.S. agent, yeah.
U.S. Agent, um, U.S. Agent Pulisic. I mean, it's interesting how he's got into a different mode.
Yeah, like he actually did have a good break. Like he obviously had the hat trick against Panama, and I say he did reasonably okay against Mexico. But yeah, like he
The
between his
key thing
form
is going to be
here
McKinney. I
and then
mean,
also
it's going to
and
be
also
key.
with Chelsea, it's been
It's
decent.
well, I think the key thing is going to be McKinney, and obviously he was hurt and all that, but you know,
I
and
think that I think the interesting thing there is that like we really had a whole lot of people out during the last break. We had McKinney out, he had Aronson out, we had Dest out. Um, we didn't have I think it was Weah for a game. Like of like our regular rotation, I think we were missing like five or six guys, and like for the most part, like when's the last time we were able to have seven likely starters out, and we did as good as we did?
yeah, no, that's a good point, and I think that weighs more to the reason why I think I'm not as skeptical as usual. Um, I
The
think
the
that
the, the heart is warming up, y'all.
I mean, I guess yeah, going over to Turkey allowed me to be a little bit
Open,
more
open your heart up
exactly, yeah, be
and
a little bit more
see things in
compassionate.
a new light.
Because I mean, being over there, it was on the eve of them about to play Italy. Turkey about to play Italy.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
to hear that buzz and murmur
Hold on, was
around
it Italy
there.
or Portugal?
What's that?
Was it Italy or Portugal?
Well, it was Italy the first game, and then Portugal the second, I think.
Okay, gotcha.
And so to hear her around that, and obviously with what happened with Italy, it's interesting to see how that played out.
Man, 2 times in a row, like, man,
Yeah,
that
look how stressed out we were that we didn't make it. You think about how the Italians.
especially coming off a Euro championship last year, like, like, they literally had not lost a game at home in 49 games, and then suddenly you lose to North Macedonia,
Yo,
in the last minute, like, bruh,
not
like,
just taking for granted, man. You can't
I'd
take
be
it for
sick.
granted.
I'd be sick.
You cannot take these opportunities for granted. It's, you know.
And and it's funny because, like, I think I saw a very freezing cold take on, Twitter, during that time, talking about, like, how, like, easy it was for CONCACAF and how tough it is for Europe, how basically it was like the assumption was that Italy would make it through given, like, who's left. I was like, "Oh, about that."
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think overall, as far as what we talking about with the cup in general, I think when we talk about the CONCACAF, I'm really interested in seeing how
What was
uh,
that?
I'm really interested in seeing how Canada does.
Yeah, they're in, Group F. To recap, that group, you got, Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia. Ooh,
You
that
want to talk
was a
about
bit
another group of chokers? Belgium, I mean.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is pretty much, uh, I think this will be now or never for that group for that
Oh,
generation of
absolutely,
guys.
absolutely.
And, yeah, like, what are your thoughts, TK?
Yeah, man, it's been a long time coming for Belgium. They need to win something, but it's actually a shame because they're gonna have to go through Croatia to do it.
And
So
Canada, can Canada make it stink? Can they
I honestly, I feel like Canada may like knock some points off and some of those respect. Who's the other team in that group? That
Canada,
country,
Morocco.
Yeah, Morocco.
Morocco. Yeah, see, that's what you need to worry about. Honestly, is Morocco. They're going to play the spoilers. Canada will just kind of be sublime, honestly. I think, in terms of that group.
Mhm.
But my picks to get out should still be Belgium. I just think they'll choke later on.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
I think Canada can fight for second. I think they can. But like
Mm.
just like how like when they're on like they're dangerous.
Yep.
And
I-
go ahead.
That's true. That's true.
And I think
If
that
they're if they're
they're
if they're
playing with house
clicked,
money.
yeah.
They're playing with house money right now. It's like they haven't made a World Cup since 1986. Were you even alive back then yet? Were you just being born? Dude, I just know your birthday. I don't know how old you are half the time, man. Don't judge me, man.
Man, get a fish eye on you, man.
I know, right?
Yeah, man.
But that's a legit question. Like it's been long since Canada's won, made it to a World Cup, and outside of CONCACAF because that World Cup was in Mexico, so like nobody's seen them in forever. Um, but I definitely think that they have the talent to make some noise, and I would think that if for them, if they manage to make it out of the group stage, and that would be an absolute major accomplishment given where the Canadian program is, and and yeah, I think it's absolutely doable. What's up, Tony?
Serious question. People are not asking the real questions here.
What's up?
Who's the most famous Canadian right now?
The injured one.
Uh,
Davies,
Drake, y'all. Drake.
Davies.
No, all
Yeah.
time.
Oh, you mean like
Oh, it
actual?
wasn't a trick question. It wasn't a trick question.
Oh, I was Drake, Justin Trudeau, and then
Drake's
maybe
probably more popular than Trudeau. So like,
At this
I would
point, yeah.
say I want to know: has there been any talks about what he's going to be doing over there, especially with his man Qatar? Like, it is primed for him to be on like a world stage scenario. Like,
Well,
this is Drake like Cup. It might be the Drake Cup in the
I see where you're going with this, sir.
So it's gonna be interesting. If Canada does well, he's going like Drake is probably making the theme song for the World Cup right now.
Actually, I think he actually is making like a Canadian anthem. Cause like they were partying with them when they qualified. I was like, okay, I guess they're officially on Drake's radar now because they finally made a World Cup because now he's partying with him and everything. Like
Right.
It's only a matter of time before he has the anthem jersey. He's gonna be trying to line up with him and everything. So, you know, I'm glad that he's finally discovered that, you know, Canada actually has a soccer program, even though they just won the women's gold medal just a few months ago. But hey, we ain't gonna talk about that. But yeah,
he was probably there too, though. We don't have that access.
Nah, not in Tokyo. They were like, nah, y'all can't come in here, man.
But I just think this is a prime event for him to try to steal the show type of thing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
But what about the curse?
Oh, the Drake curse. Oh, although.
What if that affects the World Cup? Like, think about that.
That's see the thing about that is that it can't really affect Canada because they haven't done anything in so long. Now, like I said, like just making it, it's like, hey, it's a success in its own right. But
so basically, he needs to not wear a Canadian.
Yeah, he needs to go rock a Portugal jersey. He needs to go rock Mexico. Yeah, Mexico. There you go. Mexico. They got Group C. They got Argentina, Saudi Arabia, and Poland.
So what's the odds that the Middle Eastern companies make like, I don't know, let's just say more than 2 into the stages? To the knockouts, excuse me.
I don't know if y'all remember during the last World Cup, it's like in the opener, there was like FIFA president Gianni Infantino, Putin, and like this Arab Emir, I don't know from which country, and there's like literally like all chilling and like they're over here just shaking hands, like, hey, let's go ahead and make some money off of this. And I'll be like, why should it happen again? Why should it happen again? It won't be Putin there, obviously, but yeah, I think that you'll so deals will be done, and yeah, you might see more than like you might if Qatar makes it out of their group, I'd be like, yeah, the palms are getting greased because they got in Group A they got Ecuador, Senegal, and the Netherlands. And also, while I'm thinking about it, shout out to Louis Van Gaal, who just announced he's fighting an aggressive form of prostate cancer. But yeah, they're that's a bit of a tough group. And of course, the two winners out of that group would get the 2 out of our group. So like we possibly could get the Netherlands, Senegal, or the funded Qatar national team. So yeah.
I mean, I gotta say, I'm definitely going for Senegal in that Group A.
Yeah. Are they bringing their lasers? Are they bringing?
Hell yes! Hell yeah! That's the only way.
They got to bring the lasers.
You got to. Right,
got
like
to bring your freaking lasers.
Hyper beam lasers, like where it's like where you see the waves of it and everything.
I want my freaking lasers.
Exactly. Where the lasers?
But let's take a look at the rest of the groups here. So we got in Group D.
Group D.
Yeah, we got France, the playoff winner between Australia, UAE, and I can't remember who PE is. I guess just
it was it's not Peru. Who's that?
Peru. Yeah, that's it. Peru. Yeah. And Denmark and Tunisia. Group H, that one actually looks pretty tough. That was Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and South Korea.
That's a group of death, man.
Yeah.
There's gonna be two countries that are crying, boo-hooing that shouldn't be,
Little bit. In Group G, we got Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon.
Mm.
And then also one that we haven't covered yet, Group E. We got Spain, Germany, Japan, and the winner between New Zealand and Costa Rica. If I'm gonna say Costa Rica makes it through, but like yeah, they're gonna finish last. Let's just
Yeah, I think they're gonna do decent,
but like
so
I feel sorry for your boy Novice, but yeah, that's gonna be a tough
no,
one.
I know, yeah, I know, yeah. But as far as like Spain, Germany, Japan, I mean,
I feel like Germany's a wild card this year because like nobody's really talking about them like that.
well, because they're still trying to get the core of their identity together and everything.
Yeah. Um I would say that for Spain as well. It's like it
Yep.
feels like they're starting to turn things around both on the club scene as well as with the national team. And I'm like, it may not happen now, but Euro 2024 and then in 26 they could be a real player.
So
So
you're saying Costa Rica has a chance?
I'm saying they got a chance to beat New Zealand. That's about it. But
All right, now I'm gonna cheer you on now. Don't worry, boy.
but just some games that at least from what I'm seeing that I'm looking forward to. I'm definitely looking forward to um, Spain and Germany. Looking forward to hold up, Ghana and Uruguay in the same group.
Yeah,
You know that history, 2010,
yeah.
and yeah,
That was one of the greatest games too. Like that game was classic. Instant
Ghana
classic.
owes Suarez a receipt.
Yep.
Oh man, that's gonna be really interesting. And yeah, like I said, I like they're just the geopolitics in our group is just it's just so juicy. It's like how can you like not want to watch it just for the pure shenanigans that'll probably happen either around the stadium or outside the stadium. Like it's gonna be out like yeah, don't let Scotland or Wales make it because yeah, just them playing England in the World Cup, yeah, that'll be something. But
So after all these groups, you gotta ask the obvious question. I mean, who do you see in the finals? Who do you see taking it?
my way too early prediction.
Yeah.
Hmm, the most I can give you is a Final Four. I'm gonna say actually Brazil has a really clear shot.
Yeah. I was like, they're a quiet, heavy
Yeah,
favorite, if you will. in their second
yeah,
season.
because I think out of their block with Group G and Group H, I think they could beat pretty much all of them. They might have some trouble with Uruguay, but I don't think so. Um, I'll, ooh, uh,
All right, so let me ask you this question:
keep going, keep
you
going. What's
you
up?
you you skimmed over France like they was chopped liver,
No, they should be all right for their group. Um,
but I'm saying, are they repeated? I mean, what we?
nah, the hmm, they should be able to get to at least the quarterfinals. Um, at least. Um, I think it's all a question of which version of Netherlands do we get and which version of England do we get. If depending on that, that could determine whether or not they make it to the semifinals. Um, and then also if Senegal can make another run like they did in the African Cup, because I
Right,
definitely think they have the talent
they got the
to
talent.
yeah. Like I said like don't let Mendy get hot again. I mean, I know today's result might not have been Mendy like, but when the national colors are on, typically he's money. Like I said, don't if there's any Chelsea fans that are either on this podcast or out there in the culture, just give a word of advice to your club. Play that man when a shootout comes. Play him.
I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I get no part of it.
but But yeah, I would say France can at least make the make the quarterfinals, and I think that I actually think that depending on who we get, we can make the quarterfinals. I think so because yeah,
Okay.
because
Okay.
I think that like right now we're playing with house money because like I said we're so young and the talent is there. It's just a matter of one, can we find a striker, and will Stefan or Turner show up to where they actually are playing regularly next fall? Because yeah, if they're both on the bench, we got a problem. I'm gonna just have to go ahead and call you up and be like, "Yo, I know you're playing right now. You're out there in on West End, getting your reps in." And I'm like, "Yo, if you're ready, we got you."
Stay ready, man. Stay ready. You ain't gotta get ready, baby. Um, so I don't hear anybody going on with is this Messi's cup type of thing.
No,
Um,
no.
none of that.
Unless he gets in a much better form than he's been with PSG, I don't see it.
Okay.
I think that they just might be a round of 16 exit.
Okay.
Yep. Say God don't like that.
Just want to take this moment to go ahead. Just go ahead and throw that in the ringer. You're talking about
Said you talk about
Messi.
Messi. Talk about Messi.
And also that explains my power issues. So we at the culture apologize for any technical difficulty.
That was
Oh,
God
God.
talking about. Man, don't be talking about Messi like
Say
that. Man.
God tried to tell you something.
It's like, he already won one. Let him be. That's what all the announcers say. It's like, oh, he did it. He finally did it.
But
They ain't talking about it no more. It's more like Ronaldo. What can he do at 36?
I don't even think Portugal do all that well. Like
Yeah, no, that's not going to be anything for them out there.
yeah, like I think that they just might be around the 16 upset as well. I think they could possibly get out of the group, but
If they
beyond
can get
that,
out.
that's
I
going to be a
mean,
tough one.
that's a tough ass group, man. That H. Woo.
Yeah, like
Someone's
I
gonna
mean,
be H.
all things considered, they're lucky to get out of the playoff. But yeah, uh, yeah, that one's I'm curious about Germany. I'm curious about Senegal. Um, curious about Canada. Um, and Denmark. Denmark, yes.
So that's
Uh,
gonna be your Cinderella story.
it could be because I mean, Christian Eriksen came back and just started just scoring this out of just like boom, 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 boom. Like, he's making it work out there. I'm definitely happy for him that he's been able to get back out there and actually perform really well. Um, but yeah, I mean, obviously we got about 7.5 months to go. So yeah, we'll of course we got Nations League um before then for some ungodly reason. We got I think a couple friendlies. I know we got Uruguay in June. I'm not sure what the plan is for the fall, but yeah, like I said, we got time to prognosticate and deliberate as far as what the U.S. might do and what everybody else might do. But we're going to take a quick break. Hopefully, TK's power will stay with us for a little while longer. But on the flip, we will talk about how his Blues be getting smacked in the Champions League and by the bees. By the bees.
Man,
We'll
get to that.
Yeah,
We'll get to that.
Stick with us. Get a word from our fam at 2 cents, and yeah, stick with us. And we're back. Oh man. No, I'm gonna say that for too open to that because yeah, we need to have a conversation about Paula. We'll save that. But yeah, that's a nice hoodie you got there, TK. It's about the one time this week that the Blues have looked good, man. Oh yeah, yeah. For those of y'all who can't see, like he's got a he's got a DDA Drogba book here that you can see on the YouTube.
Excellent reading, folks. Check this out if you
Yeah,
are into literature.
if you're into books and reading and learning things.
We're just hearing different perspectives, journeys, such and such,
how
mediums.
how he managed to stop a civil war and just save the lives of millions of Ivorians.
Not in there. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
But Grego just didn't want to ruin the plot for you guys if you really see what he was trying to do.
I'm trying to give people something to look forward to because again, y'all ain't giving them to look forward to this past week. I mean, y'all got smoked by Brentford.
Man, we all right.
And then I didn't realize that Abramovich went ahead and sold the club to Benzema because now he owns y'all.
And also PSG. So technically, he is not only literally the richest player in the world off of wages, but maybe inherently owning clubs. No, owning clubs. Yeah, we'll say it like that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, honestly, shout out to Benzema. The dude's like what, 34 and like maybe 32. Like yeah, I ain't out there scoring hat tricks. Not that header kind, at least. That was a goal, bro. You can't take that away from him. So if you real, you recognize real. So there's that. But outside of that, man, Brentford was a trap match. Y'all know well about that, being United fans. And it's just one of those things, man. We just didn't really come back off the international break. With the pep in our step that we needed to. But somehow we're still 5 points above Arsenal. And y'all. But yeah, so we're all right.
Look, this ain't about. Actually, no. We'll talk about United in a second because obviously there's some big news that came out today. But yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I didn't watch a whole lot of the Champions League this week. Of course, we saw City managed to outlast Atletico. Like Atletico didn't even really try to attack. They said, "Hey, we will just hold on for dear life," and they almost got it. They almost made it. But
that was a good one, man. Honestly, if you didn't see it, y'all try to go hit the highlights. It was a good match, and Jack Grealish.
You know what? Like he started to come into a groove with City. Like I feel like a lot of the big name English players have like found their groove in the second half of the season. Like Sancho, he's probably like one of the few bright spots for United right now. And yeah, Grealish is coming through. I said I just wish that obviously I don't have an investment as far as England goes, but I just know that it makes no sense for them to be calling up Maguire and why people are upset that people are booing him because when he's on the national team, like, yo, should have been in the first place. Like, and if he sucks there, they're gonna boo him. Like they already like they see one place where he sucks, he still gets caught up. He sucks there. It's like, yeah, shouldn't have been there.
Did y'all see the news about Grealish and his new deal?
Oh, with Gucci? Yeah.
Gucci?
Well, you know what though? I'm not gonna hate on a man in his paper, but at the same time, I'm like, my man, State Max. I'd be like, do you really like see this Gucci headband that I got? I'm wearing. I'm giving y'all a free advertisement, and y'all said y'all really not gonna look my way and give me a deal. I'd be like, fuck y'all. I'm rocking Versace.
I'd love to see him swap it up just based on that.
Yeah, like seriously. Nothing about that. Like I'd be heated right now. Like granted,
shit, he might as well just shoot for that Birkin bag. Like man, just cut this print.
Like granted, Jack Grealish is a decent looking white. I'm completely secure in saying that, but at the same time, I'm like, yo, this man over here been putting y'all on, and for the culture, and y'all just said, nah, we ain't doing it. I would definitely feel some type of way about that. Like,
Cough, cough. That's a down, and we all know why.
yeah, a little bit.
I don't know why y'all ain't surprised. So
I mean, it's funny because like I saw this article in Soccer Bible like a week or so ago about like how the integration of like soccer players and the cult and fashion. I'm like, one, we've been setting the trends on that, and I'm like, y'all just now noticing that. Like, where have y'all been? Like, but
What was the meme that we had in the chat earlier? It was like a space for Black people.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like, yeah, we've been having that conversation about on both sides of the ocean right now because whether it's here in the U.S. or over in Europe, it's like I said, this is a large reason why you have this podcast right here, where we're trying to bring light to these type of issues where like we're still driving the culture, even though in both places you see active efforts to see Black people minimized and everything. And yeah, yeah, that one struck a nerve with me because I was like, yeah, this dude's giving you free advertisement. And he just said, y'all are just like, nah, let's just not do that. But yeah, Tony, are we hype about Ten Hag? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. I think his camera froze.
I think that's bored Tony.
I mean, it's hard. I'll say at least my piece. I think it's hard to get hype right now because I'm like, there's so much shit that needs to be fixed.
Well,
And it's like,
that's my whole point. It's not going to be one managerial change, and obviously, like this is. I mean, I there's no way we can like avoid the issue that this is something that's going to be a 3 to 5 year project,
mhm.
and it's going to have its different phases. There's got to be some more changes as far as like the board level and the executive level, and like the restructuring of you know who is going to be the talent person. Because right now, as we know, like we're forever now marked as the club where careers go to die.
We're more
Yeah,
as a Cowboys. That's what, like
you know,
we're like because I don't know if you saw the quote that Van Gaal said about United. It's like we're basically a commercial club. I'm like, bitch.
find a lie though. I mean, like be honest,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's facts now. I mean, it's just funny that like this current generation of kids they see nothing but Man City and they think Man City is the most dominant club in that city.
Right.
Whereas and, these little youngsters don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
And that's where really things are right now is that you have a generation that, whether it's new fans or young fans, where it's like, yeah, they don't remember when United was that club, just all of England, let alone Manchester. And
right.
suddenly, yeah, we're barely hanging on to a Champions League spot. And like we're right now we're now on the outside
Dude,
looking in.
I don't see any type of Champions League spot happening. I don't.
If we do, that would be an absolute
I'm
miracle.
not. I mean, like, let's be real. Let's be real.
But it won't be Conference Europa, right? We won't be in that either.
I think
There's some
Tim Howard
levity.
made the point of. I think it was Tim Howard made the point, but like, if they're out of Champions League, it allows them the effort to at least focus on themselves. Kind of like get out of relationship and you're like, you know what, I gotta focus on myself, rebuild and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Do some
And a reflection or something.
do some
Exactly.
therapy,
That's what. Yeah, absolutely.
Run the stage around the house.
Man United needs some therapy badly. Like,
Yo, I'm sorry I can't remember the name, but shout out to the Black lady from to Ted Lasso. Y'all should reach out. Y'all should reach out.
What was her name?
Right now we need some therapy. We need some love, and yeah, right now things are looking you said
Carol
we,
or something.
we
Sarah Niles.
yeah,
Sarah Niles.
but we'll like I said we'll see how things go. But yeah, hold on. Yeah, that's right there. I think there's City and Liverpool this weekend. That might be something to look forward to. But also,
That's a 6-pointer.
Dude, that's the biggest match this decade. You know what I'm saying?
At least to the World Cup. To the World Cup. The World Cup.
There's
Go.
Still time. Sorry. But what was I about to say? I did want to give a quick shout out. Like I said, like between the last couple of episodes, like we really haven't had a real clear time to really give them a shout out. But just shout out the ball to Barcelona. I don't know if y'all realize the work that Xavi has been doing and Barcelona since he took over. Like I don't know if people remember, like they were in ninth place when he took over. They're in second now in La Liga. They probably won't catch Real, but yeah, just like the fact you were able to climb up that high in that little time when things were looking super bleak. Yeah. And of course we saw what happened when they in El Clasico a few weeks back. And yeah, they are doing things and doing it for the Lola. Doing it for the Lola.
You saw those reports like now Messi might go back to Barcelona. And he's like, nah.
You know what?
Another government sponsored team.
Well, see, that's the thing that they don't like sponsoring Barcelona. They keep that money straight for Real in the capital. But I think
the Basque region
well, Basque is Bilbao
or Catalonia.
Yeah. See, yeah, know your Spanish territories, man. But
mountain ranges, man. That's all it is.
But
ain't fooling nobody.
but yeah, I heard that rumor and I'm like, honestly, they're getting by just fine, like on running things on the cheap now. They may not last particularly long, but I think that they're making something like nothing where it will allow them to get their money back in order. Because like, given how much they were paying Messi, I'm like, why would you go back to that, especially right now? Like nothing about that makes sense. Like let him go make his money where he can go make it. Like let that go. Let that narcotic go. Like
I want that old thing back.
Like don't do it. But yeah, let him go do his thing and
need them heroin tracks.
That's a little too accurate of a reenactment.
I mean, hey man, y'all all seen that movie.
Yeah, on the track, so get it.
But
you know, North keep it real, man. North keep it real.
But yeah, so we're glad to be back and with clear audio and clear video with you guys. You know, like we haven't been slow. We've been busy. We've definitely been busy with orders at ftcutd.myshopify.com. Matter of fact, I just picked up some earlier today. I got name sets up in here. I got t-shirt orders. Shout out to AC Pandemonium out in LA. Of course, we got one right here for the home team here. Which, the home team, can we get healthy right now? I'm like, shout out to Ozzy Alonso out for the season. This is by the miss Sunday. I'm like, we had a backup keeper that tore his Achilles. I'm like, dude, can we just not? Like it's tough times right now. Like we were just this close to being like fully healthy, and then they said, "Nah, don't do it to yourself." But yeah, make sure you get your name sets, t-shirts, hats, all that good jazz at ftcutd.myshopify.com. Also, while I am thinking about it, and while we go head up into two up and two down, shout out to our bro Cal Carr from Feathers Home Flamingos out in Madison. He was the winner of the FTC 22 bracket challenge. Now, I'm not even going to say who the real winner was because he might be on the podcast right now. But yes, shout out to Cal. We're linking up with getting him some merch from your boys, and like I said, you can get yours too at ftcutd.shopify.com. But I'm glad you are back, Tony, because I get to revel in with you. It's 2 up and 2 down because Final Four was this past weekend, And you know who didn't win? You know who didn't win? Duke.
DOOK.
And then the way that they lost, and the fact that it was North Carolina, and the fact that a black man did that not once but twice in the past couple weeks. I'm like, dude, no, like it didn't even matter that UNC choked. No, I won't say they choked. They just didn't last against Kansas because like they had their fast start and then they just faded. I mean, shout out to Armando Baycott, Richmond guy, Verona guy. Um, I gotta tell y'all something about his mama, but that's a whole other story. But but yeah, I think that yeah, just the fact that Duke lost, you know, I'm happy about that. I'm so happy about that. It's a great time for America. It's a great time for all people in North Carolina that because I mean it's not like they take people from North Carolina at Duke because they're private. So but yeah, like I can't complain whatsoever about the fact that they lost. And you know, of course, people were in their feelings because Bomani went to the ass on Sunday. Because I'm like if you've lived in North Carolina and just experienced that Duke life, up close, people near and far feel some type of way about Duke. Like he already talked about it in the first episode. He went back into it again this past Sunday. Like there is some deep seated hatred there, and hatred, resentment. You can say whatever it is, whether because they were successful after a while or because they have beaten some of the culture's most beloved teams. They beat UNLV, they beat the Fab Five, they beat Georgetown, they beat all of them. You said no, and I'm like, nah, we will not miss Coach K. We are looking forward to John Shire. We're like, yeah, like he's going to be a bad rebound coach. I guarantee that shit. You can mark that down. You can screenshot this, record it, turn it into a short or a reel, whichever social media app that you want to use. It's not going down well. And but so yeah, that's actually up. Believe yes,
Definitive.
all that shade. Um, so for those of y'all who didn't catch our live last week, again, I was talking about I've been shopping lately. I've been shopping, and of course, there's only about five of y'all that did. So let me just rerun that and just show y'all what I've been doing lately. So got this very nice Club America trainer jersey right here. Yes, all in the finest of polyesters and silks and linens and everything. Um, also, so a surprising entry. I got this authentic Chicago Fire jersey with the new crest because, of course, I wasn't about to buy the one with the old crest because that shit won't gangster. But it's blank. Things will be put on this. I guarantee it. Put my name on it, all that stuff. So yeah, stay tuned on this one. And last but not least, um, is one that came straight from the good life. Got me a Venezia jersey. Got me the away. Like, I had to be honest with you guys because we're good for personalizing shit, but this thing is art. I don't know if I can put anything on here, man. Like, this thing is nice, nice. Like, y'all can't even really see the detail in this gold. Like, it's like the details, man. Like, they're that nice. But yeah, I've yes, TK's homie Anu. He's got some stuff coming back over from London. So I got about to add into that collection. Y'all, yes, this one right here. Oh, what could have been? Oh, what could have been? But but go ahead.
It just reminded me.
You still got yours.
Yeah, exactly. I was just like, you pointed to something in the back. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah. But
to be continued.
Yeah. But my other up, while we were shouting out Hubert Davis, we did not shout out Dawn Staley for smacking down on UConn on Sunday, giving South Carolina their second national championship. She is the first Black coach, male or female, to win more than one national championship in basketball. Right now she's just rolling. I think that the result on Sunday is, I think it's the passing of a torch, because this is the UConn's first time ever losing in the national championship, like after 11 tries. And I think that South Carolina is that program now. I think that it's going to take a lot to stop them, because she's young, she's hungry, she's trying to make a statement for not just Black women in college basketball, but for the men as well. 'Cause I don't know if you heard, Tony, about what she did with the Nets in after the first national championship. She sent them all out to all the other Black women coaches in college basketball. But now with the one that she won this year, she's planning on sending it out to the Black men head coaches in college basketball. So, because we're trying to bring everybody up and just give them that little bit of inspiration, like, hey, you can do this too. So shout out to Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks. And if you happen to watch the commentary with Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird and Meg Rapinoe, Diana Taurasi is a whole fool. But before I forget, I just want to let you know I'm a single man now. I have divorced Paula Patton. We are divorced now, because y'all saw the video that came out the other day about the fried chicken. I had to realize that this relationship was just no longer tenable for us. Because you can't be feeding me seasoned greased. Oh God!
Are you sure? You sure? All them years married and you ain't never seen her wash that chicken once?
I was in the living room just watching the game. Drinking a Coke 45 works for every time.
Every time.
Win or lose.
The grease though.
Grease though.
That's the one you pulled. You have the. See, if she was using the proper utensils, I'm gonna go ahead and break it down for y'all. I understand why, you don't start to distance yourself. She got to give her the gift set, man, where she has the proper tools for the proper job, and she would be able to strain that with that nice big spoon.
But see,
and get the crinkles out,
But here's the thing, though, because I actually saw a picture of her with a plate full of wings a few weeks back. And those wings look good. And I was like, oh, snap, she might be getting down. But then she messed up and wanted to show that video of her actually fixing the wings. And it was like, oh, no, we can't. I was hoodwinked. I was bamboozled, because we thought that the wings were good. And you realize, no, they weren't. They weren't. Tony, on a scale of 1 to 10, how just shocked were you when you saw the Lowry's going into the grease?
A little ass backwards, at least, but
it's supposed to season the chicken before the flour.
Hey, don't you go talk about that grandmama's.
Common sense.
That's her mama's recipe. I'm like,
well, she got kids now, so that's a grandmama.
Yeah. She said she fed her kids, and then
they don't know no better. They don't know no better.
Vienna sausages when I was a kid. Do you think
exactly? Exactly. Thank you, Tony. Preach. I ain't know no better.
Oh God.
I thought Vienna sausages was the bomb. Now that shit makes me hurl if I were to look at
Yeah,
it.
I can't even smell that can. But
God,
the aluminum.
I actually remember the last time I ate Vienna sausages. I'm like, nah, like
what was I
it's like
thinking?
the smell is just still right here. It's just still right here.
Dude, I can't even
And
walk down that aisle at the gas station. Just turn around. I'm like, I see him. Turn around.
Me too. He's
I'm like,
talking nice.
I'll get my Mountain Dew another way.
but bless her heart though, because like she came out with a response video, looking as good as she always has. Like and just the everyone talking about like, the level of positivity that she took with it. I'm like, hey, yeah, because she was getting roasted, like beyond fried. She was getting roasted, fried, rotisserie.
Link it in. Seasoned?
Yeah.
She's getting seasoned? Or
Nah.
Or burnt? She's getting a little burnt.
Yeah, she'll definitely getting burnt.
God,
Definitely getting
dad
burnt.
joke after dad joke, man.
Yeah. But yes,
more dads on the show.
That's right.
But yeah. I've given y'all enough, but yeah, hopefully, we're glad to be back with good audio finally. But yeah, the boss in charge, CK, what you got, man?
I guess that's technically true now. It's like, what is he talking about?
You're a boss now. You're making the big dollars. That's when the big bucks start rolling in.
That's how I felt when I had to turn down this like 4-month gig. It was like, oh man. And then another one was like disappeared. Anyway, I'm on a high still. Just got back from D-Town, Dallas, Cacti of Texas. It was a very fun trip. Got to just meet some people, shake some hands, didn't kiss any babies, but I did get some in and out. So let me just cover up the green here real fast. So we'll be good with the logo. I had some in and out, and FTC is stamp of approval on that shit right there. So there it is. Oh man, it was just good. Nice to be out in Texas. Came back, did my COVID test, negative.
Made it through Texas. Good job.
Yes, sir. And I'm only upset. I guess I'm gonna weave it down, and I didn't fuck up the barbecue like I really intended to, and that is on me. But oh well. Hopefully there'll be time for that next year. God willing, all the things.
Now,
And then,
I mentioned it earlier. WrestleMania wasn't in Dallas this past weekend. Like, how many wrestling T-shirts did you see?
Man, Grego, I would take this time. This is a down. The down is for me.
Okay.
I, as a content creator and the role that I play in all the very facets of my life, strive to be a perfectionist. And I did not accomplish that task this past weekend because we should have had content on the ground of the Hard R Wrestling podcast. And that would have been a great way to help you, sir, debut with some really heavy hitting content. And I apologize because I thought about it at the airport. I was like, man. Then I kind of thought about it on the day, on Saturday, Sunday. I was like, man. So now that I'm back, I truly do regret that. So I don't apologize. It could have been better as support for what we are doing here as Black podcasters in this space. So down on me.
Yeah,
and that's being real. That's being real.
Yeah,
but it was cool, man. People are pretty jacked up on it.
You know what?
I'll tell you the best thing: the plane ride back. Everyone, the fever pitch was still,
It was a good show. It was a good I think for everybody who might have gotten out of wrestling from when they were a kid, I think WrestleMania is probably the one show where they still watch, kind of like people in football. They're they won't watch the season, but they'll watch Super Bowl. It's kind of the same thing with WrestleMania. And so the feed on Twitter was going all day, Friday and Saturday. And but yeah, it was a pretty decent show. I think it's probably the best one they've had probably at least good 5 or 6 years. So,
Any highlights of Black Excellence?
Yes, Bianca Belair, she came out to with Texas Southern's marching band. She won the women's title on Saturday night. yo, she's a fucking star. Like, she's fine as hell. She's athletic as hell. Like, she can actually go. Like, for for a lot of people who have their own perceptions about women's wrestling, I'm like, yeah, she's one. She's like, yeah, she can go. She can go any with anyone. Like, she's that good. And just that star exuberance, that hubris, like, she's got that in spades. And yeah, like, yeah, giving love to the HBCU with Texas Southern coming out to her entrance. Yeah, that was beyond dope, I think. And then also Sasha Banks and Naomi, they won the tag champs on Sunday. Like, Essence is coming through in a big way, surprisingly, because, like, yeah, growing up, you hardly ever saw that shit. So yeah, it's really cool to see that stuff coming up now. But yeah, it was definitely a good weekend. Saw Stone Cold come back and all that stuff. Like, it was pretty cool. Um,
Yeah, man. Some dude at the In and Out on Saturday was talking about Stone Cold. He was like, "Man, Stone Cold, I can't wait."
what?
I was over there on my second fry. Just like,
I just want this burger. That's all I
yeah,
want.
man.
Oh, that's all you got? Got anything else? Anything else good?
Yeah, up. We got so we had some power issues. I'm not sure if you watched if y'all guys just zoom to the two up down part of the episode. Some people do that. It could be you, but if it does apply to you, you weren't seeing my power issues earlier. So what I had to do, I didn't get the opportunity to do this in the order that I'd preferred, but maybe we can add it in post. We're gonna say a glorious apple right.
Oh yeah, Apple is coming.
The sound of glory, right there. The sound of glory. You're not quite there, Grego. You don't know. Tony knows. He immediately. He's like, "Ooh, there's the chime."
The time is coming. We are on countdown mode. Like, yeah.
Indeed. And so I had to plug this in because power was fluctuating. So yeah, I couldn't get my M1 iPad to charge because I left my charger at work. So the only thing powerful enough to charge it here is this brand new M1 Max Studio.
Man.
So that's my last up. Hopefully we'll start cutting footage on this and keep it moving onward and upward. Off to Tony.
Cool. The man from Galatasaray.
Hold up. Pause. Time out. Say a kind word for me in your sleepy thoughts and meditation spaces. I'm really trying to go a little bit further to the West Coast in like the relatively soon time frame. Jesus Christ. So y'all say a prayer. Hopefully I can make it out to Vegas in the next 2 weeks, and then New York the week after.
Okay.
So
Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. And yeah, for those of y'all who are watching this on YouTube, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed a little bit of content from Tony's travels from Turkey, because, like I said, he had a good time out there. And, even though it snowed, like, dude, like, really?
Yeah. Yeah, the first 2, 3 days I was there, it was snowing. Um, People don't realize how north it is of everything over there. But yeah, it was cold those first few days. So obviously my up is, um, after I turned 40, I always said that I was gonna, start chipping away at this bucket list. And I figured there's no time to do it, but now while I can, while I'm young and active, So um, I've always been fascinated by the history of Istanbul and what it means for all the civilizations in the past and present. And I think it's also one of those things to, as my journey, I wanted to be in a place where I didn't know the language that well. I didn't know anybody going ahead of time there. Um, it was my first time being in an all Muslim country. That's another unique experience. The place I was staying at was around the corner from the Blue Mosque in Hagia Sophia, which were things that were on my bucket list to attend. And like, to hear things like, you will say, okay, yeah, I can see myself at you know in an all Muslim country, but not only that, when you're around the corner from these huge mosques, 5:30 every morning, the call to prayer. It
Mm.
takes some time to get used to. And plus, I was just so close to them too, so it was like, oh, okay, yeah, you read about it, but not to, to experience it on a day-to-day basis. That was definitely, you know, an experience to say the least. But being there, the Hagia Sophia, I definitely say if anybody gets a chance to go to Istanbul, you gotta put that on your list. It's just a beautiful structure. It's been around, since the 600s. At one point it was a church and then became a mosque and vice versa, blah blah, and all that. Some of the original art is still in there, so it's just a beautiful place. But I got to chill on the Bosphorus Strait, which is right there between the Asian and European side of Istanbul. It's definitely spiritual feeling there. But I guess those are all the ups of being there, and the other up of I got to catch a Fenerbahce match. They were uh, battling Konyaspor for that second spot. They still are, because I think at the time they were 5 points back of them.
Mhm.
And being in that atmosphere is crazy because a lot of things we take for granted here in the states you don't get to experience there. So you can't just go up and buy a ticket at the gate or anything like that, or even last second. There's a whole application process, and you know, I had a Turkish buddy over there who helped me even more to kind of complete that process. But then you go through three security checks. When you're doing this application for to get these tickets, you have to claim who you're a fan of because in the Turkish Super League, you cannot have traveling fans. There's no away supporters. There's no away section or anything like that. So they want to make sure that nobody is sneaking in from a different, fan group or ultra group or whatever. So it was just a live atmosphere there. I was there 2.5 hours before the match kicked off, and there was tons of people already there before the match. Uh, they're not doing tailgating like we do so well here, but they definitely in the stands drinking nothing but chai and smoking cigarettes left and right. Um, but so those were the ups. I think the downs for me was, while I was over there, obviously with the proximity of Turkey is to Ukraine and Russia, you see a lot of Ukrainian refugees there, and they're actually getting a lot of support, a lot of housing. But a lot of people forget that Turkey also shares a border with Syria, and
Mhm.
so you see a ton of Syrian refugees there. And so the thing that broke my heart was like at all the major intersections, you saw like some Syrian women and children, having their dinners right there at the trash can with the open bag of trash and just diving in.
Mm.
Um, so that was the part that kind of was eye opening because right now obviously Ukraine is getting all the love and support from the outside regions or whatever, but a lot of people forget about what's also going in other regions.
Right.
Um, so that was kind of the down, but I think overall it was a lifetime experience. I'm glad I got to check that off. I definitely highly recommend people go there. I got to go to Salt Bay's restaurant, through the salt flakes there on that thing right there. Delicious. And the other thing about Turkey is great. The food is cheap, and I mean
Mm.
good cheap. You can get a full meal for like $5. I don't mean like fast food full meal. I mean like appetizer, entree, dessert type of full meal. Um,
How much was Salt Bay?
Salt Bay actually that ran
20
me.
American? 50
It was
American?
roughly. I had the was it local steak, mashed potatoes, and a beer. It was like $40, and that's when I splurged.
Right.
So Salt Bay in like New York, that same meal would have cost me like 150.
Yep.
You
I'm
know,
about to say 200 with the tax, dog. In New York, it's like 9.8 cents.
but like the cool thing about Istanbul, like the street food is the thing that you got. Like there's food on every freaking corner, and you just dive into the alley and there's food, food, food. Commerce.
Mm.
It's like that scene in Baby Boy when he was like, "Look at this, commerce." That is what Istanbul is.
Hmm.
Commerce. You got the Grand Bazaar, which is the biggest bazaar, in the whole world and everything. There's like 5,000 shops in the Grand Bazaar. It's crazy, but there's food everywhere and it's cheap. I was eating kebabs and simit every day. It was delicious.
And
So
what was it? The tea that
chai, they
The
call tea
chai, man. Yeah, for real.
yeah.
That's
It's not
chai
chai like
hits.
we think here. It's chai with the C with the little curly thing and then
yeah
AI. Chai. I mean Y. A-Y.
yeah.
So but the other thing too about the food, hey, the chocolate, desserts. Oh my God. It's way better. It's so much better. So, 2 up, 2 down, it was a trip, but obviously the real things of what's going on with our geopolitical stuff that we were referencing. So that's me to a T.
And before we forget, I think there is one big down that we definitely have to touch on real quick. Um, the Lakers.
Man,
Not down.
stop acting like everybody cares about basketball.
Who's that down? Who's that down? Why is
Yeah,
that
for
down?
real.
The fact that that's probably the most hyped team ever to be that bad.
That's what hype is. It's shit that doesn't pan out.
Exactly.
That's exactly what hype is. Like I don't know why people were just I called this shit at the beginning of the season because I was like, Russell Westbrook going back home is a bad idea. AD will never get past 75% of a season, and you do not have the support cast to step up. So I don't know why y'all are shocked by this. Why is that now? Why? What should be celebrated is that you got out of a mid-market team like Memphis Grizzlies wrecking shop and doing work even without their superstar, where they went 18-2. Like, are you kidding me? That's why are we not celebrating that?
They don't like that. They don't like that.
Oh, ESPN will shit themselves if you had like the Grizzlies versus like Utah.
Yeah, we all would. I think we like they would be happy that they have Ja. They'd be like, we're going to Utah.
Right.
Utah.
They don't want. I mean,
so, like at least you can have fun in Memphis. Like we need to go back out there. Like bigger stuff. Shout out to Memphis 901.
LA is not a down, bro. That's I don't know why we saw this coming. Now you can celebrate winning time as a great TV show to talk about the good old glory days of LA.
Yeah, that's all they got right now. Oh God, yeah, yeah. Shout out to winning time. Shout out to Atlanta. Shout out to Snowfalls. Got renewed for one more season. Shout out to Bel Air. Great first season. I tell you this much: if all this Will Smith stuff results in Bel Air getting put off, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna be real upset because Bel Air was that shit this year. But yeah, that's all we got here. Thank you guys for putting up with all of our shenanigans. That now that our audio is feeling all clear and bright and shiny and clear. But yeah, we will be back next week. I don't know what's going on next week. Hopefully we got more. I think we got more Champions League. We got more
Liverpool
MLS.
versus that other team
City.
that's leading the league. Ah,
Yeah.
yes, the blue one.
Yes. We'll look at that. We'll look at other stuff.
Snarling over there?
I mean, it's City, like really. But and Liverpool. It's like
Man United is the LA Lakers of the Premier League, man.
Oh, that hurt. That really hurt. It's true.
Find the lie. We're out of contention for Champions League. We're not gonna get Champions League.
And then it was Chris. And then it was Chris Paul and my sons that did it. I was like that's like what was that old lady in Game of Thrones? Like let LeBron know. Tell LeBron it was me. Tell LeBron it was me. But yeah,
it's like a black woman for sure.
But yeah,
what's his name though? V Poison. What's his name?
Yeah.
But we'll be back. Of course, in the meantime, as always, you can find us on the socials at the FTC
UTD.
Pretty good. Like I said, we've been getting really good with it. Like I said, when the audio was good, we actually all hear each other. We've been doing all right lately. So yeah, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, FTC UTD Pod on TikTok. Shout out to people that's been checking out our I did a reel just out randomly. It actually got a lot of a good bit of attention. So thank you guys for showing the love on Instagram. So we'll do this thing courtside. Make sure you check out our sister SB at Shea Butter FC. They got Angela Huckley's on the show this week. They got shout out to 2 Cents FC. Shout out to Yogi with Can I Kick It, who just wrapped up their 3rd season. We got big things cooking. So make sure you stay tuned with us and the whole fam. Until then, for TK's camera, for Coach, for Mayor, for Mark, for L, for Sky, for Ty, Phil, for Moby. Again, congrats on your on moving on to the next chapter. He doesn't want to call it retirement, but Till then, Coach is real. Coach is everywhere. Y'all got jerseys for me. Holla at me. Pull out, my man. We'll be back. We'll see y'all soon, and we out.
FTC UTD.